Welcome everyone back in to the second episode of Starting Lineup. My name is Bruce Juneau, and alongside me today is Michael DeMarco and Jason Lynch. How are we doing today, boys?
I'm so excited to talk all these sports today. We got a lot of sports today.
Doing great. Really excited to get into the show.
Alrighty, why don't we start off with some highlights, shall we?
Yeah, we go on to Colorado. Jets playing the former champions as Gagner gets the Jets off to a strong lead, 1-0 Winnipeg in the first period. Now Jets later in the first period go down the ice and give it to Pionk, and he hits a slap shot into the goal, sneaks it behind the goalie, but don't count out the Avs yet as Ratanen gets a goal, making it a 1-point game. Now Colorado down by 1, giving it to Nishushkin, and he scores the goal, tying up the game, and we go into OT. We got a 2-on-2, and Pionk gets the puck and slaps it in, and that he calls game, and the Jets will win 4-3 against the undefeated Avalanche.
Celtics hosting the Sixers on NBA opening night. First quarter, we're knotted up. Marcus Smart, the floor general, he bounces it down the floor to Jaylen Brown, who slams it home. Celtics up 2. Second quarter sees up 3. James Harden looking to make something happen. As he steps back and makes a ridiculous circus three-pointer. 61 all. I mean, how do you make that? Second half now. Harden again. No, not this time. Jaylen Brown with the little room service to extend the Celtics lead. Jason Tatum is a bad man, ladies and gents. He is in his bag. Hits a step-back 3. Celtics might be starting to pull away. Fourth quarter, Celtics up a dozen. JB takes it, makes it. He nails a deep 3 as they do pull away. Final 126-117 Seas.
Now we move to Arrowhead Stadium, where the Bills travel to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes now in the pocket. We'll find Juju, who does one of his dances, and will break one big to walk this one in for the 7-point score. And Kansas City will go up 7-3 as Smith-Schuster does his Erling Haaland-Selly. Now, 10 apiece. Josh Allen finds Stephon Diggs in the back of the end zone, and the Bills will go up by 7 halfway through the third quarter. Kansas City needs to come back. Now, Mahomes with a lot of time in the pocket, and he's still running around, and he'll find McCole Hardman to tie up this game yet again at 17 apiece. But Josh Allen wants to finish it before overtime, and he will as he finds Dawson Knox in the back left of the end zone, and the Bills will go on to win 24-20 at the Chiefs.
Now we head on to MetLife Stadium. The Ravens taking on the 4-1 Giants as Kenyon Drake catches the Giants off guard with only 10 men on the field, and the Ravens strike first in this one, and Kenyon Drake doing his little celly. Now late in the fourth quarter, Lamar Jackson fumbles the snap, gets pressured, is trying to find a receiver, but it gets picked off by Julian Love, and he jukes out a couple defenders and makes his way near the goal line around the 13-yard line, giving the Giants momentum on this one. Giants down by 3 late in the fourth quarter near the end zone. Who do they give it to? Air Saquon. Saquon leaps over the defenders, gets the Giants up 24-20, and the Giants will go on to win this game after a Kayvon Thibodeau strip sack.
We head to Houston for ALCS Game 2. Bottom of the third, 2 runners on. Alex Bregman at the dish, and he delivers a 3-run shot off Luis Severino to put Houston up 3-0. Yankees would tack on 2 unearned runs to close the gap. Bottom 7, sharp ground ball. Gleyber Torres snags it to start the 4-6-3. Incredible double play. Top of the 8th, Aaron Judge at the plate. It is high, it is far, it is caught at the wall. Kyle Tucker with the incredible catch to keep the Astros on top. Top of the 9th, Matt Carpenter looking to be the hero, but no, he went around for strike 3 according to the umpire, and the Astros win 3-2 and take a 2-0 lead in the American League Championship Series over the Yankees.
Now we'll move on to the Premier League over in England as Tottenham Hotspur travels to play Manchester United at Old Trafford. We're going to start this one off with one easy. Cristiano Ronaldo not happy he didn't get subbed on, but it's fine as Man U takes all 3 points off the Spurs, and they'll remain in 5th and 3rd. Coming up next, we'll bring on a special guest to talk more about sports. Find out who's joining us after the break.
TG in one word to me means integrity.
It's responsibility.
It's trust.
Solidarity.
Synergy.
Home. These guys are my home.
Theta Gamma is welcoming.
In one word, TG means to me family.
I'm Vincent Perno, president of Theta Gamma. Here at Theta Gamma, we emphasize the importance of scholarship, leadership, and service. We strive to make ourselves better people as well as our community a better place.
Welcome back to Starting Lineup. For today's show, we are joined by a very special guest and passionate sports fan, Vinny Fedricks. How are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me, you guys. This is awesome.
First off, Vinny, got a big question for you. I know you're a passionate Yankees fan.
I am. Longtime Yankee fan.
How you feeling about the Yankees right now?
Well, as soon as I saw we were going up against the Astros, I had cold shivers going down my spine. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I mean, this is a team that throughout the whole regular season, they beat 2 times. The Yankees won 2 games against the Astros the entire regular season, and both of those came off Aaron Judge walk-off hits. So there's not much confidence going into this series, especially when you go down game 1. I mean, they were facing Verlander, and they had Tyone on the mound. That's not a game you expect to win, going in with no rest after playing 5-game series against Cleveland. That's a given. Game 2, they didn't have a lot of aggressiveness. I mean, I thought the pitching was fine. I thought Severino did very well. He only made 1 mistake throughout the whole game, and it was a 3-run home run, unfortunately. But 1 major mistake, and the bullpen pitched great after. I think the pitching, for probably the first time in a long time, Yankee fans can say the pitching is doing its job, and it's on the hitters that need to start stepping it up. Sure, Judge is starting to find his swing a little bit. They got young guys that are bringing a certain spark to the lineup, but they need to start putting together a couple base hits in a row.
So my question is, as Aaron Judge, he had a historic season. Do you think he needs to do more in order to get the Yankees rolling again?
I don't think it's all on him because there's a lot of other guys in that lineup. There's 9 men batting in that lineup, and it's on all 9 to be able to produce runs. It's not all on Aaron Judge. Even if he went 4 for 4 with 4 home runs, if not a single other hitter on the team gets a run and the Astros score 5, it doesn't mean anything. So I think it's on the whole team, the whole roster, really. They just got to start being aggressive. During the regular season, they were playing with this swagger, you know. They were going up to the batter's box, and they were jumping on those early pitches. They were looking for pitchers to make mistakes, and they were jumping on them. Now, come postseason time, it seems like they're getting a little skittish. They're watching balls go by right down the heart of the plate for strike 1, and then they're chasing breaking balls in the dirt for strike 2. Next thing you know, you're down 0-2. There's not a good likelihood that you're getting a hit out of that at-bat. They live by the home run, and they die by the home run. It's been that fact for 3, 4, 5 seasons in a row with the Yankees. And if they're not going to adjust something, which I'll give them credit, they're making some strides. Putting a guy like Harrison Bader batting leadoff, great idea. Just getting a guy on base for the big bats and Judge, Torres, Donaldson, Stanton, Rizzo. Just need guys on base for them. Sure, they can hit home runs, but solo shots aren't going to win you the whole thing. At the end of the day, putting together base hits and playing smart baseball will. And like I said, the pitching is doing its job. It's on the hitters at this point that they got to step it up.
I agree with everything you just said. Personally, I think the Yankees will be fine. You know, they're at home now. They have Garrett Cole on the bump, Game 3 in the Bronx. I think they will win Game 3, and then they get back on track with Game 4. To segue into more about the MLB playoffs, how do you feel about the format, and how much do you think that has impacted what we've seen so far this postseason?
I think that it's definitely a mistake. It's clear that a mistake has been made. Something needs to be changed. I mean, we're having teams that are winning 100-plus games, 99 games, getting bounced in the first couple rounds. And then there's teams that are barely scratching above 500 that are still in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, not to discredit teams like the Padres or the Phillies or the Guardians, but at the end of the day, there were more talented teams in this league that probably got some unfair matchups, whether it be due to traveling or whether it be to whatever the format ended up falling for them. You know, there were teams that were going into the playoffs thinking we're the better team, but then they end up in a best-of-3 matchup where all of a sudden you have 2 bad games, you're done. Baseball is a game of hot and cold. If a team is hot in the right stretch, they'll go far in the playoffs, and we're seeing that a lot. And I feel like teams that are consistently good throughout the regular season should be rewarded more. Sure, the top 2 get a first-round bye, but now you've got someone who won their division, clearly better than the other 4 teams that they're competing with in that division, and they're playing in a wild card game because they're not better than the other 2 division leaders. It's a tricky situation, but it's something that Rob Manfred and the rest of the MLBPA definitely needs to get sorted out, because we're seeing teams that are getting unfair matchups that they really shouldn't be getting with the amount of wins that they're getting in the regular season.
All right, well, That was a great discussion, Vinny. We appreciate you coming on today and giving your input, as you are a very passionate
Thank you guys for having me.
sports fan. But that's all for that. Coming up next is the prediction segment with your great friend Mike over here. He loves to do those. Stay tuned.
What am I looking at here? It's a spaceship. From where? From space? All right, people. Let's hit these guys with some PSTV. Did not work.
Probably because it's a TV station and not a laser.
Welcome back to Starting Lineup. It is now time for Mike's famed prediction segment. We'll look at multiple upcoming games in the sports world this weekend, and each of us will provide you with our expert analysis on who we think is going to win. Mike?
All right, guys, you know the drill. First up, NBA, Suns and Clippers. I'm taking the Suns because the Clippers are load managing Kawhi, and also they're catching the Clips on a back-to-back. Saturday at the Kings, Suns huge comeback the other night. They got momentum. I'm taking Phoenix.
I got the Clippers, dude. Paul George, Kawhi, John Wall. Zubac didn't miss a shot against the Lakers and had 17 rebounds. I got to go with the Clippers.
I got to go Phoenix on this one. It's a close game, but I think the Suns are just that good right now. Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I think they just got a great win over the Mavericks. I got to go Suns on this one.
All right, let's dive into some Premier League. We got Chelsea and Man United. I'm taking Man United. They've had a tougher schedule than Chelsea to this point. So, therefore, they do have the lower goal differential. But because of their tough schedule, I think they're battle-tested. I'm going with Man United.
I'm going to agree with you on that one, Mike. I'm taking Man U. They're the only team that's beaten the top seed Arsenal so far, and they just came off a hot win against Spurs, outshooting them 28-9. And Chelsea only drew Brentford this past week, so I'm going with Man U.
I'm going to go Chelsea on this one. I think they got a great attacking with Broja and some good defense with Silva and Korsberry. We'll see how it goes, though.
NFL, Titans, Colts. I'm actually going to go with the Colts in this game. Matt Ryan's on fire. 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm sorry to job behind the set. I do apologize, but I have to go against you here. Titans are coming off a bye, too. They might catch them slipping. Colts.
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans, dude. Derrick Henry's bound to have a big game, and I just have no faith in the Colts yet, dude. I have none, so I got to go with the Titans.
I got to go Titans here. I think Derrick Henry will be too much for the Colts to handle. They almost lost to Jacksonville again, almost got swept. I think the Titans are going to be the leaders of the division.
Yankees and Astros. Let's predict the whole series. You know, I am going to go with the Yankees, and it might be a surprise. They are down 0-2, but, you know, they got Garrett Cole on the bump in Game 3 in the Bronx. Last time they met in the ALCS, not 2019, but in 2017, the Yankees went home and won 3 straight. I think they could replicate that, so I'm going to take New York.
Mike, I only got 3 words for you. Astros in 5. Jason?
I think I got to go Astros in 6. Yankees have been struggling, especially after a 5-game series against Cleveland. They're a little tired out. Aaron Judge has been not doing terrible, but not doing what he usually does. I got to go Astros in 6.
Moving on to the NHL, we have the Avalanche at the Golden Knights. You know, it's hard for me to go against the defending champs, but I will take the Golden Knights in this. They have a +7 goal differential, and they're at home. I like Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Colorado. The Knights are hot right now, but the Avs, they have something to prove coming off that Stanley Cup. Cole McCarr, he's going to step up eventually on defense. Nathan McKinnon, he's Nathan McKinnon. I got to go with the Avs.
I'm going to go Avalanche here. It's hard to root against the defending champions. Nishushkin has a goal in every game. Ratinen just came off a 2-goal game. I think Avalanche will pull this off.
NCAA football, Syracuse versus Clemson. Cuse did beat Clemson in 2017. It was a huge upset then. You know, I'm going with Clemson, though. 37 straight wins at home, 13-game win streak dating back to last year. I got Clemson.
I'm going to be that underdog. I got Syracuse. Clemson, yeah, they're Clemson, but Syracuse has looked hot this year with Sean Tucker and all their offense. I'm going with Syracuse.
I got to go Clemson here because I think Syracuse's game really revolves around Sean Tucker, and Clemson's D-line is just really good with, like, Brian Brees. And I think overall Clemson will win this game.
Alrighty, well, decent picks, gentlemen. You had the best ones last time, but you know.
4-0.
Hey, today's my day.
No, I think today's my day.
Get out of here. After the break, we'll discuss who are the top contenders for the 2022-2023 NBA Championship. Find out what we think after the break.
Yo, dude, that's a banger.
Yeah, dude.
Welcome back to Starting Lineup. We will now be going into our plan or our thoughts on who has a chance at winning the NBA championship. Mike, I know you're pretty keen on this topic. We'll start off with you.
So I'm going to give you 5 teams. First, my favorite is the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Middleton was injured last year. He's injured to start this season too, but I think with him in the lineup, it just makes that much of a difference. So Bucks will be my top contender. Moving on, Western team, I got the Golden State Warriors. Can't go against them. It's hard to pick against them. They just seem to get it done every year. Every year they're healthy. When you got Steph, Clay, Dre, they're contenders. They're winning the chip. Then I got the Celtics at third. I like their offseason addition and Malcolm Brogdon. I think that will do wonders for that Boston Celtics team. And when they get Rob Will back and healthy, that's going to make a huge difference as well. Clippers are my 4th team. I like Clippers, especially with Kawhi and Paul George back and healthy this year. And then my 5th team, I got the Memphis Grizzlies because I think Ja's going to take another leap this year.
All right, Michael. I pretty much agree with everything that you've said so far. I had 7 teams written down, but I guess if you think about it, you don't need 7. It is kind of a top 5. I had Celtics at 1 and Warriors at 2 just because I feel like Celtics, they want that redemption year. And at the same time, yeah, you can't bet against the Warriors, but the Celtics, they need it. It's in their minds. They got that drive, and I feel like they could do it. So I got them at 1, Warriors at 2, Bucks at 3. Yeah, the Bucks are always going to be a great team, but I feel like those top 2 are just on that little slight next step. I got Clippers at 4, and then my 5th was the Nets. I feel like I know it's the East with the Celtics and everything, but I feel like they got something there that they could have a chance at making it.
Yeah, for me, my number 1 would have to be the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's not going to go down without another chip. I think he'll definitely get back there. My number 2, I have the Celtics. They now got the finals experience that they really needed, and I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're really coming into their own. They're going to be great. It's going to be a really good season for the Celtics. I think they're really top contenders. And 3rd, I have the Warriors. It's hard to root against Steph Curry. I mean, he's been to multiple championships. He just got his finals MVP. It's hard to go against the Warriors. For my number 4, I have the Grizzlies. I think Ja Morant, he's really going to step up this year. I think this might be a year where the Grizzlies could really be contenders. And for number 5, I have the Mavericks because I think Luka Doncic could really boost the Mavericks' self-esteem. I think they really could get past that hump, and I think the Mavericks could potentially make the NBA chip.
That's not a bad shout with the Mavs.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about the Mavs.
Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, one question I do want to ask you, Jason, is what about the Los Angeles Clippers? You're not too high on them?
I wouldn't put them in my top 5. They're definitely contenders for sure, but I think they have, with Kawhi load managing, I don't know if they'll necessarily get a high seed, and that could come back to bite them. We'll see what happens. But Clippers, for sure, a good team, but I would not put them in my top 5.
I got a question for you, Mike. How about them Suns? You're not high on it. You're taking them in the predictions, but yet you're putting the Clippers over them in the rankings.
Right. So predicting them to win one game is a lot different than taking a whole season out.
That's fair.
You know, the reason why I'm not high on the Suns is I don't know how I feel about their chemistry. Yeah. You know, last year I think it was just a rough ending and losing to Dallas. And, you know, Monty Williams not talking to DeAndre Ayton, his star center. You know, Ayton almost walked this offseason. He had a deal to go to Indiana, and then they matched the massive contract. So, you know, I have questions about their chemistry personally.
That's fair. That is a fair point. I just know they had that big season last year. They did kind of crash and burn as it came to all things thought. But we all had the same top three, it feels like: Celtics, Warriors, Bucks. Yeah, I think.
So what are some rising teams you guys think could really come into contention this year?
You know, I kind of look at the Sixers, not necessarily a rising in terms of young, but I think if James Harden and Joel Embiid are on that same page this year and healthy, you know, because it's always health, especially with Joel Embiid. If they're healthy, I think they can go far.
Yeah, I'd say the Sixers too, with pretty much all the same reasons.
Honestly, I think the Knicks and Cavaliers, they could really come into their own this year too. Knicks with R.J. Barrett could really take that next step with Julius Randle by his side, and Cavaliers now getting Despida on their team. I think both of them could be sleeper picks.
Well, that was a great discussion, gentlemen, but unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. This has been Starting Lineup. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.